Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about anime called Shinepost. Yes, another idol anime. What do you expect out of me? After 4 months of waiting for another video, I then again come back to talk about idols. I'm really predictable at this point. I'll talk about something else later, don't worry about it. For this nice ease back, we're talking about this show, as I did hype it up on this channel before and I've talked about it a good bit. So I want to give that closure, give my thoughts out on this show, and let you guys know my feelings on it. So to give a brief synopsis of the show, we're following 3 girls who are in this idol group that isn't very big at all. They have maybe, 20 or 30 people going to their shows, so it isn't like absolutely abysmal, nothing happening, but it's pretty small. But they have a little bit of following. There's something there. But the challenge they have put in front of them is that they have to get 1,000 people into an auditorium and have a whole theater booked out. So that is their challenge. They do that or else they get completely disbanded and it's over for them. So that is the ultimate challenge of the show, and over the 12 episodes, they develop themselves, they grow to get that following with a producer who has the ability to know if somebody's lying. They shine if they are lying. So it's a nice, interesting thing. And that is most of the quirks and what happens in the show without going into any spoilers. Now for Idol Show, of course, we have to talk about the overall performances. One of the biggest things I love about Idol, and the reason why I watch a lot of it, is to see if the performances are done well, executed impressively and properly. I'm not a fan of the CGI animation, so I will absolutely rip in when it's all CGI and stuff, especially if it's bad CGI. And I like to critique overall choreography of the dance moves and stuff. I really enjoy that because I think anime absolutely strengthens choreography with, the laxative of the camera can be anywhere. You don't have to worry about a physical entity since it's all being animated. That's why I enjoy it so much, so I like to critique it. And this show is phenomenal. One of the biggest selling points for this show is how good it is. With, a bunch of the newer shows, you're really going to get a bunch of CGI, and this one does take plenty of steps to avoid CGI, but of course still uses it to a degree. And I highly appreciate them trying to go and not use CGI, because CGI is just used so much. Even the biggest ones, Love Live and stuff, they just, alright, concert time, boom, there's CGI now. All of it's CGI. They may go to 2D for like a close-up or, medium close-ups at best. If anything, you're getting animated up to shoulders, alright? That's the best you get with most modern idol anime. But this actually does 2D animation a lot, and I appreciate it. The director, he's also worked on, let's hear it, Umasume Pretty Derby. I know you're looking for me to say it. And when he did the animation for that show, especially in that second season with those sequences, I was like, God damn, those are impressive. So I was absolutely enticed by this show, seeing that he was on the staff, and probably other people who worked on it were on the staff for this, especially since it's the same studio as well. So a lot of the same people, and you can see that even though they probably have not too much of a budget, they still did a lot with their sequences, and I'm absolutely impressed by it. Many gorgeous shots overall, and the choreography in this one is extra special. There's some way more unique moves than I've seen a lot of other things. There's a lot of generic, simple movement, but there's a lot of impressive technique that went into the choreography of this one. There's a couple times where I'm like, oh man, that shot's amazing. Oh my god, I love that move. Every single performance usually has at least like one move where I'm like, oh, that shot's so beautiful. And it's like, oh, that's animated so beautifully. And that brings me a lot of joy. I really appreciate that. That's one of the biggest things in anime, to have those couple of moments where I can gush. I'm like, ah, that looks so good. That looks so impressive. And this show has many of impressive moments overall where I'm like, oh, looks so good. As well, the music and songs, also really good. I've added a bunch of their songs, pretty much most of their songs, to my playlist of music because they're slappers. A lot of them are very good. There isn't so much diversity as it's mostly just our main unit with a lot of the songs, and then there's a couple other songs from the other units. Mostly you have, of course, the Solo, who was used as the like, oh man, the character everyone looks up to. Hotaru, I think's the name. Yeah, Hotaru. Her song's pretty good. There's like 2 of them that I know. The one that you see in the anime, and then there's one outside of it. I think it's called Prelude or something. Both of them, very good songs. And the main unit, very good songs. I don't like it when they go super poppy, but they have a good amount of diversity in their song catalog, and a lot of songs that I really like. So I have a lot of the songs saved. Isn't as good as Idly Pride. I'm going to still give the #1 victory royale to Idly Pride when it comes to the songs, because that's 100% bangers. But we have like a good amount here. We have like 80%, which is pretty impressive. Like Love Live's like 30-40% of the songs I add to the playlist. So take that in mind, and then it's like, this one, 80%. That's very good. I loved a lot of the songs. Many of the songs played in the anime, very good. Favorite one, Yellow Rose. When that played, I was like, God damn. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. To go into one weakness though, I do want to bring up that the comedy isn't my style, which at the end of the day is fine. You don't have to get the laughs out of me. There's many of good moments otherwise. The style of comedy, it will really, I think it'll be very jarring, especially if you don't find these characters very lovable. If if you're not liking these characters and then they're pulling these jokes, you may get annoyed by them. It's similar comedy that you'd also see in Umesume Pretty Derby. It seems like there was a lot taken, and it was like, we can use this. I especially know they like to do this like shock face comedy where the character says something and then it takes a minute for the character to think about it, and then they're like, oh. They make a huge shock face. I don't think that's particularly funny, and it will probably be annoying if you don't like the characters. Thankfully I like the characters, so it's like, yeah, whatever. You didn't get a laugh out of me, but it's alright. That's one weakness, but I don't actually have a bunch of faults to throw against it, more just me gushing over elements. And one of the biggest things I do want to gush over is probably one of my favorite characters to come out of it, Rio. They had good development for the main 3. The 2 others that come in after to that main group, I don't think they get as strong a development, but they're all pretty developed compared to a lot of almost 2-dimensional characters that you can see in idol shows. There is a lot of development that go into these characters in particular, and I really appreciate that. But my favorite was absolutely Rio, and it's probably because it's like a little bit of a just like easy. They knew what they were going, they knew how to hit with me. If you make a altruistic character and make them sad, I'm like, ah man, that's good. Absolutely break those girls. Rio has this whole plot, I guess a little bit of spoilers to her thing, which comes out in the middle of the show, episodes 5 and 6. They have this thing where Rio feels like she's holding everyone back, and you can see like she's doing a lot of work. It comes down to this one scene where she runs away from the group, but she's still like handing out flyers, and then there's the one moment where someone takes a flyer and she's like, please come see the show. Don't do it for me, just do it for the other girls. They're the talented ones. And she's breaking down, and I'm just hurt. I'm like, damn, she cares more about them than herself. Like, come on, respect yourself, girl. But I absolutely loved that moment. I got a little tears out of me. I'll admit it. Got a bit of tears out of me on that moment, and she become my favorite character because of that. Especially how they resolve as well in that next episode, the episode 6, where it has by far my favorite song, which makes probably one of my favorite performances, even though it isn't like this huge dance number with crazy choreography. You know, the song is just like, so like, okay, yeah. Shit, well, why were we saying Rio wasn't that talented? She got the fucking singing voice of Angel, goddamn. I absolutely loved that. It was good. It was so good. I'm like, God. So that song was absolutely impressive, and appreciate her for the animation. That was just singing. There wasn't really a whole dance to it, but they put so much motion into it. They captured a lot of motion and emotion within that song. Absolutely impressed by it. Probably my favorite moment in the anime overall is those 2 episodes developing Rio's character, because I thought it was one of the best, but all the other ones have very solid, good development that I wouldn't complain about. Again, I'm very happy where the show left off. It doesn't leave you on a huge cliffhanger. What they develop at the very start, you need to book 1,000 people in this auditorium. They get to that point, they get to that auditorium, they get to the conclusion, and they do set you up for a possible season 2 while completing the story arc that was set up from the beginning. So I really do hope this does get its season 2. I'm very happy with how the show came out, especially since it was kind of like me blindly like rooting it on, like, man, this is going to be the shit. And I'm happy that it ended up being the shit at the end of the day. Hopefully you guys give it a watch. If you seem any bit like it may be for you, go watch it. It's on High Dive, or you can use a pirating site. Whatever, I don't really care. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you liked and enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.